tradition certainly posits that the temple in Jerusalem is a microcosm of the world. We can find that in Jewish traditions. And it seems from my readings that Newton was fascinated with Solomon and the temple and saw something very special and unique about the temple in Jerusalem. What did he see in it, and what was his beliefs regarding that?
Well, I think there are three things. I'll try and go through them briefly. I mean, one of them, he has different projects, different theological projects. One project is essentially to prove that the ancients, so the most ancient people of all, so again, we go back to Noah, we go to Moses. These people were essentially Newtonians, and he thinks that the Hebrews worshipped in what they thought was God's temple. So they didn't, if you like, it's not that the universe was spiritualized, but it was a temple that was created by God. So God had created the universe for us to study it. And I think that's important because for Newton, it means that there's something divine about the study of the natural world, because the natural world is the temple of God. It isn't God, but it is created by God for us to examine. The second element where the temple is very important, I think, is that the Jewish temple and the tabernacle are they're templates for Newton's mystical, as he puts it, or spiritual understanding of God's relationship with his people. So in Revelation, which is the last book of the New Testament, much of Revelation is a description of the Jewish temple and the tabernacle in particular, where God lays down the sacred history of the world, or rather the Lamb lays down for the prophet John a book which is the history of the end of the world. I think that's very important. Solomon's temple, again, there's a project on Solomon's temple, which is something that Newton took very seriously. But the project on Solomon's temple is an interesting project. It's a metrological project, I think, which is where Newton took a number of texts, including the Masoretic text, the Septuagint, and numerous other texts, some of them Babylonian, to try and work out what the ancient Jewish unit of the cubit was. And I think that's a very humanist project. So it's a very Christian scholarly project, which is to try and use mathematics and astronomy and textual exegesis to understand, obviously, the true dimensions of Solomon's temple. I think that's very important. But more important, perhaps, for Newton is to try and work out exactly what, in the modern world, in terms of feet and inches, the true divine unit was.